Censorship. When a developer alters their vision to better suit the needs of the market, some gamers treat it like a knife to the heart. All around the world, video games have been pulled off the store shelves because they were just too much for the community to handle. Well, that's what we're diving into today. Lost games that you are forbidden from playing. Coming in at number 10, Kane and Lynch, the third-person shooter video game developed by IO Interactive, published by Square Enix, European subsidiary for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 3, and Xbox 360. It's the sequel to Kane and Lynch Dead Men. The game follows the criminals Adam Kane Marcus, Brian Bloom, and James Seth Lynch, Jerrion Monroe, who reunite the city of Shanghai, China for an arms deal, having agreed to split the money for their retirement. However, when things go wrong, the two quickly find themselves fighting to survive and escape when they become targets of the entire Shanghai underworld. The game features an experimental and industrial dark ambient musical score described by its composer and sound designer Mona Moore and art director Rasmus Poulsen as industrial horror, and mixes it with a diegetic C-pop music made originally for the game, although it only plays on environmental levels and in the menu, but it's banned because of its high impact, gory, and violence. A censored version of this was released but banned in places like the UK and even China until the censored one got released. Coming in at number 9, Postal 2. Many games push the envelope of the bad taste, but none push quite as hard as the Postal series. The long-running sandbox title puts you in the shoes of an ordinary Joe trying to run errands to be driven into a violent homicidal rage, often by Gary Coleman, and their anarchic series. Sense of humor is definitely an acquired taste. The country of New Zealand, safe to say, never acquired it. New Zealand's ban on the game's sites gross, abhorrent content, urination, high-impact violence, animal cruelty, homophobia, racial, and ethnic stereotypes. As the reasoning, let's be fair, all of those things are in the game. Hell, there's even a key bound to taking the piss, and the penalty for owning a copy of this game is $1,400 fine. That's $1,400, which can buy you many better games. You can even get yourself a whole new PC system, even a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox. God, talk about a worse game than GTA. Coming in at number 8, Devotion. Devotion is a Taiwanese psychological horror game that was made unavailable for mocking the president of China by Red Candle Games. Unlike most entries on this list, Devotion was never placed under scrutiny of the US government or hit with the adults only rating from the ESRB. Devotion ultimately fell afoul of censorship was overseas on the account of some memes that were featured in the game, likening Chinese president to Winnie the Pooh. Images of Winnie the Pooh have been enough to get certain films banned in China before, so it's hardly surprising that the Easter egg resulted in Devotion being pulled from the country's Steam page. Yeah, can't believe it. Red Candle Games taking this step further though by voluntarily distilling their product worldwide. As such, even though US regulatory bodies have never mentioned Devotion before, it cannot be downloaded from its Steam in America or anywhere else for that matter. In March 2021, Red Candle finally released an updated version of its titles sans Winnie the Pooh through its own distribution platform. This makes Devotion one of the few examples of the game that managed to recover from a ban, although it's still outlawed in China. Coming in at number 7, Thrill Kill. Thrill Kill was never technically issued a hard ban, but that's only because the publisher decided to cancel it first. A Mortal Kombat knockoff with an adult twist. When I say adult twist, guys, it's pretty bad, okay? We're gonna leave it there. Let's say not safe for work. This fighting game deliberately courted controversy from the very moment it was announced, marketing itself as the edgiest title to hit the PlayStation in 1990s. Unfortunately for the developers, they pushed this taboo content so heavily, it ended up backfiring, and they were slapped with the adults only rating from the ESRB. For context, this certification is like an informal soft ban, in the sense that it does not explicitly outlaw the product in question, but severely restricts where it can be traded. It is well known that most US merchants flat out refuse to sell AO rated games, and companies like Nintendo will not even accept them on their platform. So good luck to try and play these adult rated games on a Nintendo Switch. It ain't happening. Coming in at number 6, Bully. Rockstar is on this list more than once. While it's certainly logical that governments would have a problem with the anarchic GTA games or Manhunt, which we will talk about down low, is over the top carnage, what could be so awful about Bully? Okay, really? It just has it in its name. The company's classic 2006 tale of an English schoolboy trying to navigate the social structures of boarding school asked the government of Rio Grande do Sul, the southernmost province of Brazil, which brought the hammer down on bullies shortly after the game was released. Its argument that it was a setting game in a school would be potentially harmful to teenagers. A fine of 1,000 Brazilian reals per day can be levied on anybody selling or even owning the game. Could you imagine that? $1,000 a day? Coming in at number 5 midway through, Paranautical Activity. Paranautical Activity was temporarily banned in the US after its creator was sent death threats to Valve's president, Gabe Newell. One of the developers of the first-person shooter, Mike Mulbeck, went on a lengthy trade online when Steam failed to update the Paranautical Activity's product description to reflect the fact that it was no longer in early access. Concerned that this would confuse players and hurt sales, Mulbeck posted on Twitter, "I am going to kill Gabe Newell. He is going to die," and in response, Valve immediately removed Paranautical Activity from Steam and deactivated Mulbeck's admin account. And a few months after this ban, developer Code Avarice sold the intellectual property rights to publisher De Girardi Distribution, and which point of the game which reinstalled on Steam and it came back as a deluxe edition. Coming in at number 4, Pokemon trading card game. What kind of country would you see fit to ban something inconspicuous as Pokemon trading card game? Well, welcome to Saudi Arabia, folks. The heavily Muslim Middle Eastern nation issued an edict in 2001 banning both the electronic and physical versions of the game from import. Pikachu. Guys, Pikachu, the beloved electric Pokemon, his fellow pocket monster, was considered a threat to national security. He's just an electric mouse. Why? Because the symbols were used for energy in the game resembled the Star of David, which everyone knows is connected to the international Zionism and is Israel's national emblem. Promoting Zionism is a big no-no in the Middle Eastern states. For obvious geopolitical reasons, it doesn't matter to the Saudi clerics that the resemblance was unintentional. Back in the day, even up to now, you can get a code for Pokemon cards and register them and you can still play the game, but not in Saudi though. You can't do that in the Saudi Arabia. Coming in at number 3, Tell Me Why. Tell Me Why was an episodic adventure game developed by Dotnod Entertainment and published by Xbox Game Studios. The game consists of 3 chapters released for Microsoft Windows and Xbox One. In the late 2020, it follows the pair of twins Tyler and Allison with the ability to communicate with each other through telepathy, who reunite in their hometown in a rural Alaska and investigate their death of their mother. And recurring theme of the story is the fallacy of memory, as the narrative explores the twins' childhood trauma as they may remember pivotal moments. Honestly, when I say pivotal moments, it's really bad moments. The game was noted for being the first AAA video game to feature a transgender character as a main character with Tyler Ronan. After its announced in November 2019, the developers consulted with the expert groups for this theme, notable GLAAD, a non-governmental organization, the NGO, to ensure the authentic and respectful portrayal of the LGBT characters. It cast a trans man and the voice actor of Tyler, which the character had transitioned during the time away from his sister. It got banned in certain countries just because of that reason. I'm being honest. Coming in at number 2, Super Seducer 3. Released in the wake of the Me Too movement, Richard LaRuna's Super Seducer was always going to cause a bit of a stir. For those who are unaware, it is an educational simulator presented by LaRuna himself, in which he proclaimed as a pickup artist. Coaches you on how to score dates with women. Often by using psychological tricks, he walks you through a number of different scenarios: how to stop a woman in the street, how to pick up dates in a bar, and how to turn a friend into a girlfriend. The game was largely ridiculed online, where it became the focus and humorously let's play videos from the likes of Video Game Donkey, Jim Sterling, and XQC. Many of these revolved around the players deliberately choosing the worst possible dialogue options so that LaRuna would indecently expose himself, sniff a woman's hair, or make lewd comments. Not everybody took it so lightly though. While Super Seducer's console ports were eventually cancelled due to the controversies, in March 2021, LaRuna reported on Twitter that Super Seducer had been banned from Steam due to the storefront's policy on showing sexuality explicit images of real people. And honestly, you're screwed up. You're putting nude images, bro. You messed up. So yeah, it wasn't gonna hit PlayStation, it wasn't gonna hit Xbox, it wasn't gonna hit Nintendo, and that's why it came off of Steam. And the uncensored version is now hosted on very niche websites. And finally here, number 1, Manhunt series. Manhunt number 2 is part of this series. Is a stealth video game that was published by Rockstar, and it was developed by Rockstar London for Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 2, Rockstar Leeds for the PlayStation Portable as well, and Rockstar Toronto for the Wii. Yeah, the Wii. It was a sequel to the 2003 Manhunt and was released in North America on the 29th of October in 2007 and in the UK on the 31st of October 2008. Set in the fictional city of Cottonmouth, the game follows Daniel Lamb, a mental patient suffering from amnesia, as he tries to uncover his identity, and Leo Casper, a sociopath assassin who guides Daniel in his journey. Manhunt 2 received a large polarized review from critics and audience, and it was banned for sale from Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, Kuwait, and Saudi Arabia, as well as South Korea. With the improved gameplay though, the game engine, plot twist, darker storyline, and use of extreme violence was praised, but voice acting and outdated graphics drew mixed response. The title garnered controversy before and after its release, gaining the attention of Leicester East MP Keith Fast, anti-video game activist Jack Thompson, and various US senators. Yeah, it was ranked the first GamerRanks list for the top 25 goriest games of all time and nominated for a GameSpot's 2007 Game of the Year for PS2. Whether that censorship is justified isn't for us to say, but let's be fair, it probably isn't. I hope you guys had a good one, enjoyed the video. I go by Anti-Friction aka Crafting J on the Minecraft channel. See you guys next time.